coffee. And we've not got any standard. So before I get started on the results for November, which I'll be honest were really good, much better than I expected, I thought I'd have a quick chat about the whole account health situation. So I think I put out in the last video that there was a problem with a pet brand called YouMove. I won't go into the details of that now. I think people have already covered it. But basically that's meant that I got about 2-3 weeks ago an email saying that you've got sort of 30 days, although it was vague, maybe you've got 90 days to respond, to give them all your supply chain information, all of that stuff. This is to Amazon, by the way. And then they will decide if you've done anything dodgy. So I know myself, I've not done anything dodgy, I bought legitimate products. They're from retail arbitrage, which isn't as ideal as like an Amazon to Amazon invoice, but we'll see. Either way, I sort of held off submitting those documents. Well, I still haven't submitted them. I've still got a few days until I can do, so I will be doing that. But what that's meant is I've not been sending in as much stock as I normally would have done at this time of year, even though it's sort of my first year on Amazon properly. So I don't think December sales are going to be great, but November was honestly surprisingly really good. Don't know how that happened. I'll go into the figures in a minute. But yeah, the main reason why I didn't submit those documents is pretty much because nobody knew, this kind of happened before, not to me personally, but in some other brand a year or two ago. No one really ever knows how Amazon's going to react to stuff like this. So it was a bit of a risk replying to the email straight away, submitting the documents, and then you don't want someone who doesn't really know what they're looking at to decide that your documents aren't legitimate or aren't up to their standards, and then for them to close your account right before Q4 started. So I think in that sense, I've made the right decision, not submitting them straight away. However, it's probably hurt my sales a lot for this month. We're already 7 days into December. Sales definitely aren't as good as they should be, and that is mostly because I've got barely any stock sat at Amazon. Well, in the grand scheme of things, we've still got a few hundred units, but there's loads of stuff here that I'm having a look at that could be sat in Amazon's warehouse right now. But I think the way it's looking, possibly a bit too late to send it in now, but I'll get them started or sent in January, and we'll just start again then essentially. But sales are still trickling through. So I'll talk to you now. I'll fire up my laptop when I can find it and show you the results for November. Right, so you'll have to forgive the bobble art. It is 7 degrees in here at the moment. It's right in the middle of the storm. I forget the name of the storm, but it's stormy outside and cold in here. So I'll jump right into the sales. I'll try and whack them on the screen as well. I'm reading this off a notepad because my laptop's charging in the other room. But we have sales. This is November 2024. So just to give you a bit of context, I started Amazon FBA. I'd given it a bit of a go 7 or so years ago, but properly again this year. Started in February. So the sales have just been going up and up and up and up. It's been quite nice. I'll try and get that screenshot as well. Just looks like a bit of a mountain on the orange bars. Not that they mean anything, but we'll talk about orange bars first. Sales for November were £5,624.50. I think I've read that right. Yeah. So that is better than the month before already. So quite happy. So better than October in terms of sales volume, although sales really doesn't mean anything. You could be making 20 grand in sales and losing money. So straight into the most important part now. The profit for the month was a whopping £2,269.12. So I'm well aware that is nothing in the grand scheme of things compared to plenty of other sellers that have been helping me out. And for anyone that's been helping me out, really appreciate it. But for me, that was pretty much double or over double what I'd made in the month before on Amazon. So really happy about that. How has this happened? And you might notice if I've put it up on the screen already, the ROI, and how has it got that much? Have I even entered my cost of goods into Seller Toolkit? Well, I'll be honest, yes, I have. If you're on some of the Discords that I'm on, you'll probably find links to them in the description. You probably figure out what I've been selling already, but most of it has been, well, in fact, all of it has been online arbitrage. And there has been a pretty good warehouse sale that it ended a few weeks ago, but I did as much of that as I could. Not selling my own stuff. This is buying from an online retailer that was closing down a warehouse. And the cost of goods were absolutely like ridiculously low. So we're talking like £2 into £35. I think I got like 70 units of that. I got like 30 units of something that was £9 and sells for like 60. It was just like ridiculous. So I don't think I'll see something that good again for, who knows, maybe ever. But I guess in this game, if you want to call it that, when those opportunities sort of come up, you really do have to rinse them. And it did mean for a couple of weeks I was staying up quite late. Although luckily these were happening, most price drops, if you're not already aware, happen at midnight. So, you know, places like Argos and that will drop the prices at midnight. Loads of other big retailers will as well. Don't know why, it's just how they do it. But these were just popping up at random times of the day, so it suited me really well. However, I was pretty much on my phone like solid for 2 weeks. So did it pay off? Yes, it did. I've still got loads of that stock left, or not loads of it, but you know, a good chunk of it to see me through December. But in terms of, I don't think I mentioned the figure, but 178% ROI. I mean, that's just bonkers. So if I can do the maths, for every £1 you're spending, you're making £1.78 in profit, which is just really good. You're just like doubling your money and more. But that's obviously not sustainable. It's not going to be, I'm assuming it's going to be much less in December anyway. So if you've not really sold on Amazon, if you've not really done online arbitrage before, the sort of golden figure that everyone tries to sort of aim for is around 30% ROI. And one interesting point, you know, since that sale that I was rinsing has stopped, there's been things come up for like 35% ROI, 40% ROI, which like any other time of the year, I would be all over and spending all my money on it. But because I've been so spoilt by the, you know, the ROI percentages from this warehouse sale, I was just passing up on loads of good deals. And I think that is going to hurt me in December. Certainly, you know, is one of the factors that will hurt me in December, as well as just not sending in more stuff because of this whole U-Move thing. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll do a video sort of early January, see how things go. The month of December, it'll be my first proper month, my first proper December, Christmas time on Amazon. Last little figure here, I think I got 14 refunds. Honestly, I didn't even really notice them. I think some things got sent back to here, this warehouse. Some things got put back into stock. So yeah, I think any other month I'd probably be whinging about 14 refunds, but I know that's small numbers compared to loads of other people, but I was dead happy with the profit and it really didn't eat into it that much. So I know I've got FBA in my name. Not in my real name, obviously. I don't think I'm going to potentially keep that because you'll probably heard, I've mentioned already, I sell on eBay. I've also been selling on Facebook Marketplace, and that has been like ridiculous in terms of, you know, the ease of it. And when you say Facebook Marketplace and ease in the same sentence, people are usually throwing up everywhere. But honestly, I haven't minded it at all. So I've had some really bulky items. You probably saw them when I was walking through in the background then. That some of them just there aren't Amazon listings for. Some of them I could send them in to FBA, but you know, by the time, I'll give you an example. I think I've already mentioned it on like a TikTok or something. There was a big Hot Wheels toy. I think we got it on it was an online arbitrage deal again for about £17. You could send it into Amazon. You could probably make about 30 quid profit on it, or you could whack it onto Facebook Marketplace, and I think it was like 50 quid profit, £55 profit by the time you sold it. You got cash in hand. So it's all hunky-dory. So I have done really well out of Facebook Marketplace, and I haven't worked out the exact profit yet, but I know I've gotten it close to £1,000 in cash just from Facebook Marketplace sales over the past month and a half, I think. So I'd highly recommend doing that if you don't mind sitting at home. I haven't had like a ridiculous amount of stupid messages like you sometimes get, which is pretty good, but maybe it's depending on what I'm selling. Like the things I've been selling are fairly niche in a way. Like one of them's a cycling thing. So it's not like a mobile phone that you're selling where you're going to get loads of chances trying to lowball you. But in terms of lowballing on Facebook, if you want to give it a go, I'd just set your price a little bit higher, and then when people try and lowball you, just go with it because you're still making profit. They feel like they're getting a good deal and you're making profit anyway. So that's Facebook. eBay, I haven't got the figures here, but it has been doing like pretty good. Nothing amazing. I've been selling things on eBay that haven't got Amazon listings again. things that, you know, potentially like IP complaints on Amazon and just things that I've had in stock for ages. But I am really far behind on listing stuff. You can probably see in the background, I've still got tons of stuff to list for eBay. Still got tons of stuff that I need to send into Amazon FBA. But yeah, as a bit of a roundup of this month, we'll see where we are in the next month. So my next video might be a result of this whole U-move. Do I get a section 3? Do I not? That'll be interesting. We shall see. So yeah, I'll do another one of these videos in terms of how the profit's gone in January, and hopefully do a few more updates in between of how things are going. So if you're a fan of me rambling into a camera, talking about money and potentially losing loads of money, then give us a follow. Got any questions, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.